All right, let's get after it, talking about Article 3, which is the judicial branch. All right, the judicial branch is the courts, the federal courts, okay? The highest court in the land is the Supreme Court, okay? The highest court in the land is... There are also courts below that, okay? So there are 3 levels, okay? The most basic level, all right, are the federal district courts, the appellate courts, and then there's the Supreme Court. Okay, so district courts, this is just the federal level. All right, district courts, appellate courts, Supreme Court. The main power of the federal courts is judicial review. The main power of the federal court system is judicial review. Okay. Judicial review is the power of the courts to determine the constitutionality of any executive or legislative action. Okay. Judicial review is the power of the federal courts to determine the constitutionality of any executive or legislative action. The constitutionality of any executive or legislative action. Key thing here, a lawsuit's got to get brought up here. It's not like, you know, Congress passes a law and then all the court's like, yeah, that's unconstitutional. It has to be brought up to the court's attention. The court is just kind of like hanging out, waiting for lawsuits to come to its attention, and then it'll rule. Okay, so there has to be an issue brought to the court. They're not just like standing outside of Congress being, yep, nope, can't do that. Nope. All right. How do federal judges get appointed? Federal judges get appointed by the president. Federal judges get appointed by the president, and they are confirmed by the Senate. Appointed by the president, confirmed. Our lifetime. Okay, these are lifetime appointments. The only legal way to remove a judge is for that judge to be impeached. The only legal way to remove a judge is for that judge to be impeached. You cannot fire a judge. The president cannot fire a judge. They are appointed for life. Okay? Now, that's the Constitution. All right. Is made, you had the anti-federalists were like, I really want to make sure that we are looking out for the rights of the individual. Okay, so the Bill of Rights are tacked onto the Constitution afterwards to protect the rights of the individual. All right, and it was the anti-federalists were like, listen, if you had the Bill of Rights, we'll help you get the Constitution ratified, you know, by the colony or by the states. Okay, so the Bill of Rights are added to protect the individual right. They are added as a compromise. The anti-federalists like, because the whole process of ratifying the Constitution, you had to go to each of these states, and the states had to ratify it. Okay, it wasn't like, all right, we made the Constitution, all right, this is it. Like, there was a whole process to this, and it was long and tedious. So it was a compromise from the anti-federalists. We're like, all right, we can get on board with this Constitution if you tackle. Okay. What is the amendment process? In order to formally amend the Constitution, you got it. It's a high hurdle to jump over, if you will. Either you have each state, either you have like a constitutional convention, which doesn't happen anymore, and they propose an amendment. Okay, it has to be passed by that constitutional convention by like 75%, and then 75% of the states have to ratify. Okay, The other way is for the 75% of the state legislatures to formally pass an amendment. Has to be 75%. Okay, so that's 38 states right now. Okay, and then it gets added. All right, so the formal amendment process is very tough. Okay, and there's a reason for that. They don't just want to like willy-nilly change, to use a formal term. They don't just want to like make it easy to change the Constitution, because remember, those are the rules that we're all supposed to play by. All right, so the formal amendment process is a lot. Okay, here's the Bill of Rights. Okay, these are the ones that are added. All right, we'll go over these in class. Okay, we do need to know these. Okay, most of these are still, I mean, most, with the exception of like the Third Amendment, which is the no quarter, no soldiers. That was like, we didn't want the British to do that to us again. All these are, used. Okay. So right, that's all I have. It has been an absolute joy as always.